up, everybody? Rothstein here, Betting Public Sports Show. All right, I'm your beloved host, Fame Rothstein, okay, aka Michael Snackson, aka Bay O Wolf, aka Malcolm Excellence, or even Malcolm Existential, aka Hacksaw Jim Thuggin. All right, today is Monday, December 18th, 2023, 1 week from Christmas holiday here in the United States. I got the Christmas spirit already. Got the Ohio State hat, with the bling on it, dripping with the sunglasses. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but today I usually have sports betting action for you. Today I don't. I guess got a little sports betting, or not sports betting, just some sports talk and just rant about some things in public sphere. Haven't talked in a while. But before I do that, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. You know, because we don't just do sports and sports betting. We do all types of entertainment. We do good interviews about sports, about the law. We have lawyers, politicians. We call those pro bono advocacy lawyers, things like that. We do it all on this channel. We want everybody to see this. The people looking for some mindless entertainment, some good takes, and people who looking for edge to get up and get over, and get something, as the songs say. Speaking of one of our topics today, all right. But like I said, make sure you like and subscribe to this channel, share it, leave comments, and I promise, before too long you'll have a blast on here. Okay, won't take many videos. That you'll, there's not many things not um, anything we don't do and don't talk about on here. All right. Um, yeah, let's just get right into it because I got a lot of shit I want to talk here, and I don't want to hold you too long. First off, right off top, all right, the Harlem Globetrotters. For those of y'all who don't know, the Harlem Globetrotters, the little I don't want to say gimmick, but one of the they're a pro basketball team. They do a lot of antics and tricks during their games. It's really a show. It's more of a basketball, for more of a basketball game. They do a lot of trick shots, things with the kids. Good family entertainment. Every year where I live at, around this time of year is when they're on tour. Maybe that's when they tour across the country, but I know around where I live at, this is where they're, usually at. They usually play the same team. They're Washington Generals. I can't remember the last time Washington won. Harlem usually wins. They're like probably 1,005 against them. It's like, something crazy. But, and they got a theme song. Sweet Georgia Brown, nice little jazzy bebop, not hip hop, but old school, game song, from back in the day. You can Google it and listen to it. Very, like I said, very jazzy kind of. But it's whistled, doing that, and then they go dun 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 dun. When they do that, that little part, that's where the team is usually doing the magic circle. Where they do this, pass the ball around. They dump, to make you think they got a water bottle, a water bucket, and throw confetti on you. It's same tricks they've been doing for however long they've been around, 70, 80 years. you know, um, but they still work their fun, their family fun and whatnot. And I see their commercial this year, and they done put a damn hip hop crunk trap music beat on it. At the end of a little selection of Sweet Georgia Brown, they start doing the hip hop crunk version of it, and it just like totally set me off, like pissed me off. Like I didn't need that. Come on, Harlem Globetrotters. Come on, a Sweet Georgia Brown is enough. That's your theme music. You don't need to revamp it for nothing. That's your theme music. That's your calling card. You know, that jingle, that nice little bop. You know, like I said, man, it's just it's just a good family entertainment. And you didn't need to change that. All right, don't do me like that. I don't want to be that old guy. I hate to be that old guy, but that's what you've made me want to feel like on this one. All right. And speaking of that old guy, I want to talk about two of them. You know, KRS One from the Bronx, New York, and MC Hammer out of Oakland, California. Hip Hop 50 celebrations have been all throughout the country since August 11th, or sometime in August, when hip hop was originated in the Bronx. And 50 years ago, this is the 50-year celebration. There've been all types of concerts and shows about it. Rappers and whatnot. And I guess CBS just recently did theirs, or the Grammys recently did theirs. And Hammer and KRS One didn't go. They say they were invited, didn't go for various reasons. Hammer said he didn't want to be with the fake shit. Calling rappers, these names at their ages. Because he's 60. Most of the good ones are in their 50s. A couple more good ones are in their late 30s or 40s, and then some of these up and coming ones, as you all know, are they don't resonate with the people. I'm not gonna say they're good or bad; they just don't resonate with all audiences. Okay, and they didn't go for, like I said, for their respective reasons, which I thought was whack. You guys owe that to hip hop to go do that. You're not bigger than the game. LL Cool J said that, at one of the shows. The one he was hosting for is Rock the Bells. Telling people thinking they, quit thinking you're too big for hip hop. They think he was talking about a certain guy, Jay-Z. I don't know who, he didn't say any names, but, KRS One, you're a former foe of LL Cool J. Maybe he's talking about you. What are you doing? Think you too good for hip hop. You know what I'm saying? MC Hammer, I know they treated you kind of shitty. Hip hop did, because you were, dancing and jingling and your show was just a little bit too much. It wasn't real, street oriented like hip hop was originated. So I understand there's some hard feelings and hurt feelings from back in the day, but that shit got to be gone, folks. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of another rapper who did participate in one of the 50 anniversary celebrations back in the summer, one that was held in New York City, where he's from, Harlem's Cameron Giles. Him and his childhood friend Mace, another rapper from Harlem. They do this. They're not rappers anymore. They're coming up on 50. Like, they're coming up on 50 in life, themselves. So they're doing something else. They're doing a sports talk show. Like all the other old rappers, retired rappers, from other generations are doing podcasts talking shit about the glory days and things like that. These guys are doing a podcast about sports, and it hits. It's hitting. They listed as the number 6 sports voices in sports media, and they're the only one who's not on television. They're just all, internet based. Their show, it is what it is on YouTube here. Okay, right here where I'm at, and they're in a beef with Joe Buttons for another rapper from the East Coast. I believe he's from New Jersey, and he's up. He's got a great podcast. He makes good money on it. Cameron and Mace, they just made some good money. Cam and Mace, what I mean? They talk shit. It's kind of like a barbershop homie setting. Even though they're on the stage, on the set, suited and booted, dressed to the nines, both of them, but they talking shit. They're making jokes, inside jokes and, things like that. Probably some jokes that are, a little immature at times, but, nonetheless, the show works and it's different. If you're a rap fan like me, you know that, every rapper at some point has done a punchline about sports. The punchline, you build up the lyric, you build up, next bar, you build up the lyrics, then punchline, something about sports, like or as, usually a simile about sports somehow. And I mean, like Cam, I remember him. He was real big on it. His first song 357. I was just like y'all flipping 100 packs, but nowadays I'm an owner and you a running back. Talking about his talks about drug dealing exploits. You know, uh, I'm trying to live a life of Riley, whether it's Teddy or Pat. You know what I'm saying? That's talking about Coach Pat Riley. I'm in the base. What do you say? I'm in between the base like Derek Jeter. You just gotta. The punchline, the sports punchline is never has always been a staple of hip hop. You know, um, hell, Curtis Blow made a whole song about basketball. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the most popular rap songs ever. So they're doing something different. You can't get. What are you mad at them for? They're doing something totally different, and that's why I fuck with it. It's just different. You know, I mean, OJ Simpson was a football analyst on the show. OJ Simpson. You think about it. Well, yeah, he does have broadcast national TV, but he doesn't have a very good rep. Right now because of what happened in 1994 and in Las Vegas in what 2000. What happened in Los Angeles in 1994 and what happened in Las Vegas in what 2009 ish, I believe. You know, the murders in Los Angeles and the robbery to get his own stuff back. Like the comedian said, he beat a double murder. Now he in jail for some cleats. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, it's just a different show. I don't know why y'all mad at each other and fix that. Y'all go ahead and work it out somehow. You know what I'm saying? Joe Budden, I don't know why you going at Cam like that. You had the Melissa Ford on there talking shit. I don't get none of this stuff. I don't get none of this. Why y'all mad at them for their unique second career, if you will, after rap. They don't rap as hard as they used to. They both, Mace was a star, a big time star. He had the co-sign. He's working on, Sean Diddy Combs' label. Now Sean Diddy Combs is, they talking about he's about to go down for some Tupac stuff from 30 years ago. It's like, damn. You know what I'm saying? That he's trying to clear his soul, telling people like, hey, if you feel like I owe you from something, from years ago, so sue me and I'll settle I'll settle with you within whatever a certain amount of time or whatever. And one woman was asking for 30 million. Sue with her with he settled with her within a day. Cassie. And then Dr. Dre come out. I apologize for any woman I did wrong. Because he had the famous you know issue where he put a beating on alleged beating on what's her name, Sister D Barnes. Used to host a video show called Pump It Up back in the day, back in the early 90s of hip hop. Right around the time Ice Cube left his group. They was in the same group, NWA, them two, Easy E, DJ Yella, MC Ren. Pardon me. And just everybody just seem to be catching bad ones now, and I just don't understand. Celebrate the Christmas spirit. You know, another Cam Newton, another dude catching bad ones from ESPN. He made the comment, said that he mentioned several quarterbacks. One of them I know was Tua Tagovailoa. The Miami quarterback. I want to say he said Jared Goff too, but he may have not have. I don't know, but I know he said Tua. I don't remember the quarterbacks he mentioned. But he was like, these guys are game managers. These GMs ain't going in the draft looking for them. I kind of see some of that. I mean, Tua, there's always a Tua around. Slightly better than average arm, slightly better than average accuracy. Kind of underthrows his receivers. He's slightly better than Andy Dalton at this point. You know what I'm saying? But Cam Newton, you act like, the woman on ESPN act like he ain't allowed to say that. Cam Newton's been an MVP, took his team to the Super Bowl. He's been a starter in this league. Number one pick. He's allowed to make that. He can do that. If anybody, he can. Because when he was on top of his game, GMs went into the draft looking for the next Cam. Even as a black quarterback, ask Lamar Jackson. Even though there's some teams didn't want him, as a quarterback, but they figured they can make him out of the mold of Cam Newton. They would, uh, RG3, Robert Griffin III. A lot of quarterbacks, people wanted to be, they wanted the Cam to be the next one. They wanted to be the next Cam Newton. Cam Newton was an MVP. Like I said, he was an MVP of the league. He just kind of fell off. I don't know what he was doing. Wrong. I can't. Get into it that heavy. I don't know, but I just, there's nothing wrong with him saying that. If you have a problem with him saying that, you haven't watched football. Okay. I talked about Diddy and Cassie. Cam Newton. Who else I want to talk about? Oh, Jason Whitlock. I don't listen. Like I always say this on Twitter. Find me on Twitter, at Biggie Rothstein. All right. I don't get what's wrong with. I don't get what Jason Whitlock's doing. His whole thing seems to be just kind of his whole shtick for the past 10 years has been kind of shit on black folks, and I don't understand why. I don't understand why people keep shitting on Deion. How he keeps absorbing it and keeps coming out smelling like roses is beyond me. Because he's probably got a higher power, as they say. Deion been catching hot ones since he came into the league in 1989 when he signed on the dotted line. You know what I'm saying? Spike Lee, black filmmaker, instantly went at him. But this was before Spike started, acting the way he was acting at New York Knicks games, especially against Indiana, in the playoffs in the 90s. Remember those series? It's like, damn. And went off on Deion instantly, like 89, 90, and Deion never forgave him for none of that, and people been shitting on Deion since. When he's playing both ways as a defensive back and a wide receiver for the Cowboys. That other guy who played both ways in the league, Chuck Bednarik, talking shit about him. You know what I'm saying? Everybody said he couldn't tackle nobody. Offensive players taking shots at him. Quarterbacks. Defensive players. Rodney Harrison talking shit about him. Deion at his Hall of Fame speech. What did he say? For all the people that say I couldn't tackle, well, for the past, whatever it was, years, 12 years, 15 years, I've tackled every bill for my mama. She ain't had to work, killer line, and, Whitlock's going off on him saying we're idolizing him too much. He's not a good coach, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how good of a coach he is. I've never been under his tutelage, but I know the team he took over, Colorado Buffaloes, the University of Colorado Buffaloes, last year they won one game. He comes in, brings his son, and his surrogate son, brings his son, Shedeur Sanders, his other son, Shiloh Sanders. Shedur's the quarterback, Shiloh's a defensive back, and then his surrogate son, Travis Henry. He brings them, gets some recruits, sends some guys home, sends them to the portal, brings other athletes out of the portal, and they've won like 5 games. Now, he couldn't win an extra, he couldn't get one more win, down the stretch to getting to the bowls for Colorado, but at the same time, a lot of these coaches feel like they're playing, they're coaching like they're playing against Deion. The players are acting like they're playing against Deion the player. And it's like, like, damn, he's like Alabama was for 15 years, everybody's best effort. For 15 years, it was everybody's best effort. He wasn't going to get a better game played against any team in the country other than Alabama because everybody had them on the schedule. For the last 15 years, everybody who had them on the schedule, that was the game that they was going to ball out on. And that's how they're treating Deion, his team. Every game he plays on, every game he plays in, coaches in, the other teams and the other coaches are going to give them their best coaching effort. The players are giving their best playing effort. You're playing against an NFL Hall of Famer, a a college football Hall of Famer. Or I don't know if he's in the college Hall of Fame, but he was the fourth pick of the draft. And he looks like his son is going to be a first round pick, might even be a top 10 pick. If he's a top 10 pick, and he has any type of NFL career, I'm talking about to the level of Cam Newton or better, you got to look at them as one of the top sports families in the country. You're right there with the Mannings, right there with the Williams sisters. You know what I'm saying? Right there with the Griffeys, the Bonses. It's one of the top sports families ever. The Mayweathers. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at them like that. It looks like that's what his son's going to do. Be a top 10 pick. You know what I'm saying? Shador, he's a hell of a quarterback. And he's putting on his family, Deion. Like I said, he got his son, he'll probably try to at least get a cup of coffee in NFL just because of who he is. There's nothing wrong with putting your son on like that. But also, he's putting on his older kids. If you don't see the play, you ain't been paying attention. His older son, Deion Sanders Jr., he does some type of entertainment or videography or some type of, film production company. And he's getting first rate access to his dad, who is the subject of, the reality show they've got on like Paramount or something. The son's, executive producing that. His daughter from another, from the same Carolyn Sanders, the mother of Deion Jr. and Deandra, his oldest daughter. She's in commercials with the younger daughter, whose name I don't know right now, but I know she's his youngest daughter, his youngest child. Everybody's beautiful. The whole family's it's a beautiful family, and daddy's leading the way, using what he can to get his kids an advantage. What's wrong with that? What's Whitlock tripping on? You talk about black fathers all the time. Well, you got one doing the right damn thing here. You know what I'm saying? We got one doing the right thing here. Right thing, doing the right thing by his kids. And, we got guys like Whitlock, hating on him. You know what I'm saying? One thing I just thought about, I was talking about Cameron the rapper earlier, in his podcast, It Is What It Is podcast, It Is What It Is. He kind of retired Skip Bayless. Because Skip Bayless is pretty much done. That Fox Sports show he's got, FS1, is undisputed. Is nowhere near as what it was when Shannon Sharp was on there. He's got rappers. 70-year-old man, white man, has got these rappers in the studio with him. Doing shit. Like, damn, bruh. Like, okay, yeah, rappers on sports sell. That's why Cam's show's doing so well. But back to Deion, who was a rapper himself, like I say, did that jingle, Must Be the Money, for a one-hit wonder in the hip-hop community. It's one of the better ones. It's one of the better ones. Okay? Like I say, he's putting on his whole family, all his kids, they're in the commercials, they're eating good, he's married, he's dealing with Babyface, or he was, Babyface's ex, Tracy Edmonds. I don't know if they're still together or whatever, but I'm sure she's, kind of helped him, guide through, this next phase of his career, because he's a personality. Deion's a very marketable guy. Like I said, he's a handsome guy. He's not too big of a dude. He's 6'1", 190, 200 pounds, whatever. He looks like he, was an athlete. If you didn't see him play, so as good as an athlete as he was, he's even doing just as well, or about to do just as well in the entertainment field. You gotta respect it. I don't understand what everybody's so mad about. All right, we gotta cut that whack shit out. Now I see my man Curtis Spoon was on X/Twitter, going off on some iconic icons within the black community, Mansa Musa and Louis Farrakhan, and he laid out some great points about both of them. What happened? People went off disrespecting him. Going in his tweets and things like that on X and Twitter and whatnot, going into his message, talking shit to him, and it's like, damn, and oddly enough, he used to be an associate with Jason Whitlock. Now they fell out. I don't know what over, but they fell out somehow. But again, Deion, we're not idolizing him like that. We just recognize the hustle and see a black father doing right for his kids, and we ain't mad at that. All right. So this is 25 minutes is way too damn long, and I do apologize. I hope you watched the whole video. Thank you for everything. I'm gonna hop off of here. We got more sports betting action coming next weekend. So until then, everybody, be well. Peace.